Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. I have another Seminole Ridge, and I'll have one more after this. This is the armed, no, this is the, yeah, this is the armed platoon. That's right, armed platoon. All right, so first thing I need to mention is sizing. Now, if you already have established squad leaders, that's fine, not a problem. But the ripple in sizing here um, tends to make it look a little odd. So it's a better presentation if you can then size your formation. So, like I said, if you have established squad leaders and those positions are not supposed to change, that's fine. Then it's with the exception of the squad leaders, then it should be tallest to shortest. Now, if you're going shortest to tallest, which tends to happen sometimes in junior ROTC, that's fine, not a problem at all. You just need to then do that. Having what two really tall, the commander and then this young man right here, two really tall cadets, and then quite a few on the, shall we say, height challenged side. Uh, and then having a few over here who are a little taller. It looks odd having the one taller cadet sticking out kind of like a sore thumb. So it's a better idea to actually size your platoon. All right, so let's go on with the performance here. Interesting that you stepped over. Now look at the arms here. Look at the elbow, elbow, elbow. So timing is not good here, not good at all. And then technique also varies as well. Rifle angles, which might settle down in a moment. I stopped it kind of mid. All right, so it did settle down a little bit, but still the timing was just not there, not at all. And okay, so judges might not be looking, and judges out there, you need to watch. Your eyes need to be on the team as soon as they form up and you say, okay, I'm ready to go. Your eyes need to be on the team the entire time. Even when the sequence ends and they're still marching off, you still need to watch them. There's the initial impression and that lasting also impression, the end of the performance that really needs to be watched like a hawk the entire time. The performance isn't over until the team really falls out at the end. So then we have rifle angles, and it's not only angles, going back. We're talking about the pitch of the rifles as well. Whether they need to go. I'm moving my hand here, butt left or butt right or whatever it is. And that doesn't necessarily mean your butt. It's the butt of the rifle that you're holding. Butt left, butt right, up, down. So you're speeding up in the half step there just a little bit. Team's not catching up well. We can see at the very end, sure, but look right here, still not. It took several steps to recover, even though the team had already stepped out. And by stepping out, I mean going back into the normal 30-inch step. So you go from 15 to 30 there, and so I'm looking here, and it looks like a really good application of the 15-inch step by the squad leader there, and then everybody stepping out. Also looks like, oops, sorry, crud. I'm just playing around. Yeah, no, don't want that. There we go. I'm playing around with my mouse buttons here. So it looks like good heel strikes in most cases. Now, in first squad, for second and third positions, it looks like more of a shuffle here. Now look, See how the foot kind of moves forward like that for the half step instead of actually coming like first squad leader. First squad leader, excellent job. You're doing really well. But if you don't have uniform technique throughout applied consistently, then it's going to look off. And you're also going to have, it's not only going to look off, you're going to have so different leg movement, different foot movement. It's not going to be, well, as I said, uniform there. And then the recovery time here to move back up, it just takes a while. So I noticed this in I think it was the armed squad, the coming to order. You reach up, grab the rifle, and then kind of go, and then drop the rifle. That's not how you're supposed to do it. So what's supposed to happen is that you're holding the rifle at port. You reach up, you grab, and then you come down to order. Your hand, your left hand here, comes to essentially guide the barrel here effectively into the position of order, and but your left hand is supposed to meet the rifle as it touches the marching surface, and then you rock the rifle back. So here I'll do it from the side as well. So reach up, come down, hand meets as soon as the rifle lands, and then as you're cutting the left hand away, then see how I move that rifle back, just like that. So you're kind of meeting here and then bringing the rifle way down. It travels quite a bit, and that traveling looks odd. So it's not supposed to happen that way. And then Commander, where you're holding the rifle, your forearm needs to be parallel to the ground, so horizontal. And then when you're going to salute, you're going to reach over. You're going to reach over on top of your right hand. That's right. And then you're going to salute. Then you're going to drop that salute and then slide the right up under the left, and then drop the left away. What you're holding way down, much lower, so that your arm is down here, and then you're reaching low as well with the left right now, and that's not proper technique. So let me drop the noise there. Good old Florida with our wind. All right, and again, just with the other, like with the other commanders, don't go to parade rest, Commander. You're taking the platoon through a series of commands. You're not supposed to execute those commands with the platoon. You're supposed to be the commander who is taking them through. You execute the positions of the commander, not of the platoon. So pushing the rifle forward at parade rest. Make sure that your hand is not sliding up the rifle here. Now you can see me rolling the cursor around here. I don't know if that cadet is, see, he's a little shorter than this our tallest member here, and so his hand is higher on the rifle. So I'm guessing that the hand is sliding up as he's bringing the rifle out to parade rest. And then also notice, and I just want to make this just an observation for anybody. Notice how the arms are angled differently here. Do you know why that is? It's height. So sometimes the hand will be put really high in the small of the back, and sometimes it'll be put really low in the small of the back. So you have to be careful of where the left hand lands, but as far as judges go, you need to make sure that you understand that it's it's a reality of physics here for the different height of everyone, that the 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 left forearm is going to have a different angle. Now here, right here, it looks like with this is what second squad and then third rank. This young man here looks like he is just sliding his left over his left hand over to the right practically. I mean, there's hardly any window there. And so let me move this out of the way here. All right, so the and I'm kind of torquing my body here a little bit, but this right here, this space is called a window. And so you should have some sort of a window. Now, it could be a shorter arm, longer torso, and then that's fine. That as long as the hand placement is at the center of the back, in the small of the back, then you're fine. I'm pretty sure it's Army's at the belt level, and then Air Force is on the butt, and then Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard are at the are above the belt, if I remember correctly. But ensure that your hand placement is consistent throughout your formation. So look at the rifles here. Make sure that they're grounded, and grounded means up against the right shoe, all three toes aligned. Okay, so as you brought the rifles up, oh crud, I didn't catch it. Well, anyway, so as the rifles were brought up, lots of elbows were up like this instead of along the rifle like this. So don't want this, want this. So precision is lacking a little. There's okay, so there's a timing issue, but precision is lacking. So as you go through the 15 count manual of arms, the command is 15 count manual arms, and then you execute the movement. You're going to move up to the first position, hold, I mean just slightly hold, drop, hold, drop, hold, hold. I mean, it's just, it's called articulation. Articulation means that you're separating every little movement, and you're creating a moment in time of the rifle traveling to this position, or your hand traveling to this position. What you don't want is to have everything flow together. Now, this is, I can give you a long explanation of flow, and it has nothing to do with regulation drill. So you don't want flow here. You don't want it to be smooth and flowing. You want it to be articulated, which means it has little tiny stops every single place along the whole 15 count. So it's a matter of getting that timing down, setting your metronome. I highly suggest you drill to a metronome. Set your metronome to about 100 here, and then go through the movements. Moving, and you can work up to 120. If you do, 120 just seems really, really fast for some strange reason when you're working with the rifle. Although it's part of what you're supposed to do. Set it at 100. Work at 100, then move to 110, and then get up to that 120. And then once you get that done, then you'll be able to execute the movements much better when you're marching later on. And I mean later on in the sequence here. Not bad on the timing there. So I want to watch that again. 2, 3, 4, close. Great job, Commander. Good. Good, that worked. Usually, here in Florida, the commander is supposed to check alignment, but there is absolutely no continuity whatsoever for everyone. So make sure that your rifles are, hold on just a second here. So make sure your rifles, when you sidestep, are the butt is 3 inches off the marching surface, and make sure that it's consistent throughout the the platoon. And then look here with that whatever the tape is on the bottom of the rifle, it sticks out like a sore thumb, and you can definitely see that toes are not aligned here. So it takes a lot of muscle memory. I understand that. But also look at the fingers here. And I know you just got finished executing a movement, but still close those fingers, extended and joined at the side of the rifle, and then also arm fully extended as well down the side of the rifle. And see, you're preparing, you're anticipating. That's what you're doing. And then this young lady right back here. Here, her arm remains bent the whole time. She's grasping, boy, she's grasping the rifle much too high to enable her to carry it, because she wants that full grip. And I understand that it's heavy, but your hand really needs to look like this wherever it lands on the rifle. You're just holding it too high, and you keep your hand there. And see, it's your hand is still there, and the arm is still bent. Everybody's arm should look just like his, fully extended. And when I say fully extended, I don't mean locked out so that it's as straight as a flagstaff. Not talking about that at all. A natural bend is fine, but this bend right here, too much, and the rifles are forward of the thigh, when the thumb needs to be on. As soon as you go to order, that thumb needs to be on the seam of the trouser leg every single time. Whoa, a little bit of a helicopter move there, I think I saw. Yeah, so hand here moving moving out, and then kind of pulling the body around, so to speak. And then look at how the rifle flies out. I know about face at order is a drag to do. I did it many times in school, and just really did not appreciate it at all. But you can't let the rifle fly out like that. And then having your arm move out, your hand move out from your side, that means that you're not fully concentrating on executing the movement with just your feet and engaging the muscles required throughout your body. You're helping yourself turn around through that arm movement. So elbows, remember, elbows need to be tucked. Arm swing is mostly forward for everybody, honestly. No, don't pull out. That's it. Go in. Who cares about the judge? There we go. Good well, initially it was a good transition from the column right into marching forward, but now we've got some big timing issues there with the feet. So it looks like column right might be an issue for you. Well, that worked well. All right. Good. Face, that's it. So don't pause to face. Face immediately. As soon as you halt, Commander, right face. don't creep forward either. So you're marking time like this. Your feet are like this when they should be like this. And toe leaves last, toe strikes first. Both feet. And they should be pointed straight forward. And you're just kind of inching forward as well. So Commander, right here. Good. That was an excellent face-in march to get into the mark time, waiting for the team to catch up to you. As soon as you are at center, then you're going to push off. Excellent. That was great. Good job. However, you can see that you're creeping forward just a little bit at each step. So try not to do that. You want to remain in place. Now, if you if you end up being farther than the 3-step distance when the team is coming around, then what you're going to do is you'll face in march again from the marked time, and then you can step off and bring your left over a bit and then get into the 3-step distance. I'm pretty sure that you'll be okay. A little too high on those first steps there, squad leader. Much too high, actually. Yeah. So I appreciate the heel strike. I really do. That's excellent. However, you need to step out with that 30-inch step, which is going to take your left not as high, but out more to get that heel strike. So, oh, I see. You're pivoting again. All right. Don't be Air Force. So, oh, okay. You're stepping forward and then pivoting over. All right. So, all of the squad leaders, you're doing well, except that you're pivoting too soon or too late. So, on the command of execution, all of the squad leaders will pivot. Here the first squad leader is going to do a 90-degree turn on just exactly as he's doing. That's well done, except for your step height and length there. But second and third squad leaders, you need to pivot. I can't do that. So you need to pivot at a 45. You all execute a face-in march, but you two, second and third, you're going to execute a half left face-in march, so that you go from facing straight forward to that half left face-in march immediately. That's your first step. Just like first squad leaders executing a full left face-in march, you two execute the half, and then you march in an arc all the way around. So and then everybody who's behind you in your squad then is going to come up and do the exact same thing. Well, I shouldn't say exact same thing. It's still going to be a face in march. It's just a half left flank. I know the terminology here is a little strange, but a left flank is actually a face in march because it's a pivot on the right foot's platform. And again, the platform is the heel of or the ball of all the toes, and then everything forward there. That's the platform. That's where we pivot when we execute flanks and facing movements, things like that. So you're marching forward and then pivoting over and then pivoting again. So it's just one pivot. That's all the Army does. Right there. All of you should be, you two, second and third, you should be at that 45. And then you just march in an arc around to where you're supposed to be. And everybody marches in an arc around. And no more flanking, or no more pivots, I should say. So the Marine Corps, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, and Space Force now, what we do is we'll do those pivots as well, but we will march 0 and then 1, 3, 5, how many ever steps in between, and it continues, and then we'll execute another half pivot, a half flank, depending on the direction, whichever way. But Army doesn't do the 2 pivots. It's only the initial pivot and then that arc around. And I know you're probably saying, "Oh, get on with it," but I really need to belabor this point in that I see this constantly, because you see another team do something and you think, "Oh, well, that's the way we're supposed to do it," and it looks sharper. Actually, the Marine Corps' column movement looks the best. The Marine Corps order, I should say, not just the Marine Corps. Marine Corps order applies to Marine Corps, Navy, Coast Guard, and the Air Force adopted it. And the only thing we changed was giving a forward march after, and that was it. And then now Space Force does the same thing as the Air Force. So the timing on that to the rear, not good. Interesting. I'm going to back up here to see this because you're closer. So, third squad, spacing, squad leaders just not there. You're getting way too close. But here, this cadet right here, not doing well with the rear march. So, and this cadet also turning to the left. So definitely don't want that. It's rear march, another 30-inch step, turn on both of the platforms. I know your legs kind of cross, and then you step off in the new direction with the left foot. 30-inch step in the new direction. So that's why it looks so weird. Okay. So most of the team really has some good. Oh, okay. So you fixed it there. Good. I'm glad. The cadet who turned wrong, and this cadet still turning late. Most of the team really has some good timing. Usually what happens, as soon as that rear march is hit, and the reason why you're marching for so long is because the team starts to fall apart because the squad leaders aren't leading. This is to check. Honestly, it used to be a counter column, and then another counter column, but there wasn't really any difference shown. So I'm positive the reason it was changed to 2 rear marches is because the judges needed to see the squad leaders in the back and other cadets leading for a brief time, which is just fine, and a lot of times the weaker cadets for marching at least are towards the rear, if not at the very rear. Not bad. Gonna watch that again. But you're doing well. Good. Oh, what was? Oh. Okay. So, third squad, you just enter half step. You don't pivot. You don't move, because if you move, then you're going to move away from the rest of the platoon. Good. So make sure that when you go to port, you're not executing some secondary movement there. And I see secondary movement. I see several cadets who are not really at port arms. Look here, second squad leader, awesome. First squad leader, not bad. Third squad leader, awesome. Good job. So what I saw, and what I mean by secondary movement is you're at right shoulder, you come to, and remember, don't move your head, move the rifle. I saw coming to maybe a higher position, sliding the hand up, and then bringing the rifle down to wherever it needed to be. And I'm in the way of my own rifle here. Okay, so what you need to do is come out and over and not have the rifle move, but we can see the rifle kind of settles into a position, and that's called precision, and you need to be precise with your movements. Oh yeah, so marching straight forward. I was expecting turns there, or pivots anyway. So make sure you keep that spacing. So did you call right shoulder on the right foot? I mean, not the correct foot, but the right foot. No, you didn't. Okay. So as you're marching forward, and again, there's elbows up there. Yeah. So you're not executing in. So right shoulder, it's only a couple of counts. Right shoulder, arms, 1, 2, 3. So you're taking a couple more steps in there. So call it on the right foot, and this is it's a suggestion, really. It's not mandatory, but it's a suggestion. And if you call it on the right foot and you execute it in the 3 counts, then your left arm actually is, as soon as you bring it down, then it's right into that coordinated arm swing. So you bring it not only down but back, because your right foot is forward. So anyway, just a suggestion that the Marine Corps order actually has in it, which I appreciate. Good. So your lack of ability, and so this young lady here, as she's marching, she's not doesn't have her forearm parallel. I see lots of elbows that are not tucked into the side, but as she's marching, she's also, and girls tend to do this a lot more than guys, because girls have a more feminine arm swing, really. And there's lots of details that are involved with that, but it's from the shoulders that you're swinging. So actually your waist is turning just a tiny bit, and it comes up and comes out through the shoulders in a little bit more exaggerated move. So her shoulders are going back and forth just a tiny bit, which means that her waist is just going, just a little bit, and it then exaggerates as the levels increase. And so, not swinging a whole bunch, but, and then here, step timing for both of them is off, and again, spacing there. It tends to correct itself after a little while, the spacing. So you're going to keep saluting, Commander, and give ready front. So, and the reason, and here's another thing about coordinated arm swing. It's eyes on the right foot, right, and then salute, because the arm comes up. It's a natural swing to bring that arm up, and then ready on the left foot, front, and then bringing your head back, and then also having the arm come down. Again, it's a natural arm swing. That's why we have it on opposite feet. And you called it on the left, that's good, but you need to continue that salute. So same thing with going to left shoulder there. So I saw, I'm going to go back again. So called it on the left foot, so there was a slight pause with several hands there to keep the coordinated arm swing. Again, recovery was not as quick as it should have been. So just in case you don't know this, and for others who aren't who might not be aware, so the commander, as the commander is leading the flight, as the commander is leading the platoon up just before that that right flank, he's marching away from the platoon. The platoon is following. The platoon is supposed to be centered on the commander, and I've seen where the commander is marching and the commander is here and the platoon is somewhere over here or whatever. So it's an easy fix. So first element is the key to all of this. So and this individual right here, whoever it is, the first element, first squad, second rank position, is going to triangulate with first squad and third rank, and they're going to have equal spacing, and then they're going to make sure that they have that 3-step distance here, but they're going to form a little triangle right there, and then everybody else dresses towards the center, and then whoever is in the second and third rank positions in the other squads then covers directly behind the person in front of them. They dress towards the center, and then the people on the outside also then dress towards the center. Easy fix for anybody who doesn't know how to apply that, and it works really well. And then you've got that kind of salute as well. Okay, so you can see that. Remember, all these little tiny things count. They really do. And so I'll leave you with this. I'll critique the other video, and thanks everybody who sends in video requests, critique requests, whether it's a video or still image. I'll do it. I'll do it all. I might not get to it immediately, but I'll get it. And I love doing this kind of stuff because it's a form of teaching. So anyway, but I'll leave you with this, and I talk about this all the time. I've probably talked about it in other videos. So you know Legos, the smallest Lego, that's the 2 pieces. You have the single pieces, but if you just have a bunch of singles, all you can do is stack them in a really long tower. But let's say we have the 2-piece Legos. You have 1,000,000 of those, and you can put them together so that they will form a good foundation for whatever you want to build. Even just those the two nib Legos there. So think of everything that I'm talking about here as a little tiny piece of Lego. and we place that piece of Lego, then we place another one, and then we place that on top, and then we place this over here, and then here, and then we start to build around that, and we build, and we build, and it expands, and then it rises up, and we have this nice, solid foundation. And then we can build whatever we want on top of that. So I know that people make fun of all of us in the military drill world. Drill doesn't matter, nobody cares, blah, 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 blah. It's falling on deaf ears because, yes, it does matter. And it's not just because I love drill and ceremonies, not because that I've spent really a lifetime in pursuit of an education around drill and ceremonies so that I can teach others. That's not part of it. What's part of it is that what you learn through drill and ceremonies is what applies in whatever you want to do in life. It doesn't matter if you go in the military or not. Drill and ceremonies applies in the business world. It applies if you're a truck driver. It applies if you're a manager of money in the stock market or at a bank or anywhere you want to be in life. Anywhere, drill and ceremonies applies. Now, are you going to march as, say, a bank branch manager or a cashier at let's say a grocery store? Of course not. No, not at all. Now, if you spend your time outside with a cadet program, fine, that's okay. But I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about the lessons learned in drill and ceremonies. How to be a team player, how to follow, how to lead. All of this, the refinement of muscle skills and all this, it's applicable. And I just turned 58 not too long ago, and I'm realizing that this applies more and more and more through everything. The ability to not give up when you feel frustrated. The consistent application of every single time you go out and practice your routine because you have a competition coming up, you get that mindset, okay, this is a competition. Even though it's a practice, this is the competition. I'm set. I'm looking at this as a competition. I'm going to apply this all through this practice. And you get that self-discipline and the teamwork and all the other. There are many attributes to drill and ceremonies. And I just think every cadet who wants to better themselves through drill and ceremonies, you're doing a fantastic job. Whether you win a competition or not has nothing to do with it. As long as you're improving, as long as you're giving it your 100%, everything's going to be great. You've already won when you get up every single morning, you go to practice, either on your own or with the team. You go through school, you practice after school, you spend the time that you have, whether you have 2 hours every single day after school, like I did when I was in high school, way back when, and a lot of teams do that 2 hours every day after school or 2 hours before school, every weekend or whatever. Even if you have just maybe 4 hours a week, 2 hours a week, you do the best you can with what you have, and you're going to be fine. You may not win, you may not bring home lots and lots of trophies, but it's not about that. I know that there are plenty of teams out there who that's all they want. They want trophy, 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 trophy. And that's fine. Whatever. That's okay. Getting a trophy is not it's not a bad thing, but it really shouldn't be the only thing. You should have that sense of accomplishment, and you are accomplishing things. And what's even better is that you come to me as a subject matter expert and you want to improve, and I love that. I think that's fantastic. All right, so that's all of my motivational soapbox there. So I will get on to the next recording, but thank you so much. I really appreciate the requests.